background is that of investment banking, and I started that around 27, 28 years ago. Around 10 years ago, quite a few inquiries started to come into our office with regards to renewable energy and specifically solar, mostly from South Asia, and we started to look at financing these projects. That started off in utility scale, but then started to trickle into the C&I sector. I quickly found that this had a lot of application that could be useful in East Africa or in Africa as a whole. And that's when I really sort of started to look predominantly at the C&I opportunity within solar, but predominantly in sub-Saharan Africa. The great thing about our region, and this is predominantly across sub-Saharan Africa, is that we have the natural resources that are suitable, perfectly suitable for solar, right? We also have a backdrop of an old energy infrastructure that needs replacement and ever-increasing requirements for energy, both from the commercial industrial sectors, but slowly but surely as we move into electric transport, then we're going to have that demand as well. So we know that renewables in general and solar specifically is suited to the region. However, I think a lot of regulations and laws still provide considerable headwinds, not necessarily by design, but just by the fact that when they were written or introduced, they were probably not aimed at slowing down the renewable advancements in the region, and specifically solar. So if there's one thing I would change, it would be a major overhaul of renewable energy policies within the region, to make bureaucracy and red tape a lot less prohibitive to the growth of this industry. I think you have to look at the solar market in probably many segments. We've already seen tremendous growth in the solar household sector, right? The household systems have been around for a relatively large period of time, as have the solar water heating, obviously different technology, but both of those two have hit mainstream already, have brought hot water and or electricity to areas that were not covered by traditional grids. And in some cases, they've been transformational to regions of the continent that really were falling behind, right? And on the other side of the size scale, you're finally, after years of frustration from the developers, you're starting to see regular announcements of utility scale projects being commissioned. And I don't think that will stop. I think from the utility scale, a lot of headwinds, as I described earlier, still exist. What we're involved in the C&I sector, we continue to see very high growth rates. I think we're going to continue to see that for some time. I think the recent events in Europe, and prior to Europe, the events of around COVID, have probably highlighted the requirements for every single country within our region to become much more self-reliant on food security, goods, and to start replacing imports with domestically produced goods. We're seeing the same climate pressures that we did from power production in transport. So we're seeing the movement away from engines using petrol and diesel towards electric. So the demand for electricity in our region continues to grow, will continue to grow. And I think most of our governments have already signed up to the various different climate change initiatives. And therefore, I see that commercial industrial sector growth of solar will just continue to be very, very strong.